Welcome to Scoil Aireagail SolidWorks tutorials. This is Module 1, Lesson 2. In this clip, we're going to model dice made from beech. So to begin, we will save our document in the usual way, which we've done before. So we're going to come up here, click on Save. We're going to call it dice and our name. And make sure that we're saving it in the folder we created for ourselves. So you'll either in Documents or Desktop, you'll have created a folder with your name on it, and that is where you're going to search to find your folder. And when you find it, open it up and then click Save. So to start modeling, we're going to click on the Sketch tab, Sketch command, and we're selecting top plane. Okay, we're going to start off with a center rectangle. So come down, hover over the origin. When the dot appears, we click once, move the mouse out of the way, click again, and then press Escape a few times on your keyboard. An important note here is, at the moment, all of our object is blue. So that means if I click on an edge, I can drag it in and out. If I click on this top edge here, I can move it. If I click on a corner, I can drag it in and out, okay? So what that means is this object is underdefined, okay? And it tells you down here, underdefined, and the blue also suggests it's underdefined. So that means it can be moved, dragged, pulled out of shape. So obviously we don't want that going forward. If we're after drawing something really complicated, we don't want to end up clicking on something by accident at the end, and next minute it's all dragged out of shape. So to stop that from happening, what we have to do is add some dimensions and restraints onto it. So to do this, generally we'll use Smart Dimension, come along, click on an edge, and for this question we're going to make this edge 20 millimeters long. Okay. You'll notice two of the lines have turned black. So when they turn black, that means they are defined, they can't be moved now. So if you notice, I can still drag the object in this direction because they are blue lines, but I can't drag the object in any direction. So you'll see this drag created invalid geometry. Okay, so what that means is it can't be dragged that way because the lines are black, they're defined, but it could be dragged that way because they're blue. So to get all of this fully defined, we could just use Smart Dimension to come along and place another 20 millimeter measurement onto this, but I'm going to show you another way of doing things. So if we come along and hold down the Control button on our keyboard, so it's the bottom left button usually on a keyboard, hold it down, come along and click on this line, and come along and click on this line. We get this tab popping up over here. So where it says Add Relations, we're going to come along and look for Equal. And then press the green tick. So then press F, that'll fit it in. So what that has done, it's basically made this side the exact same measurement as this side. So now they are both 20 mil. Why this is handy is if I come along and click on this 20 mil, if I click once on that, it'll allow me to type in a different measurement. So if I type in 40 now, and then press F, both sides have updated together automatically to change to 40. If I had just used Smart Dimension on this side, I would have to come along and change that measurement as well as change that measurement. So it gets useful when you have a lot of measurements later on, that you can just make the ones that are the same equal, so that if you ever have to change it for whatever reason, it's easy to do so and it updates all of the other ones for you. So I'm just going to click on that 40 again once and change it back to 20. Okay, so that is a handy tip that you'll use quite a lot in SolidWorks. So our next step is I'm going to click on the Features tab, Extrude Emboss Base, and I'm going to change that measurement to 20 mil as well. And click the green tick. Okay, so there we have a cube drawn, so the basic shape of our dice is drawn now. So I'm going to click Save again, just to, every time I do something major, that's what I will click. So our next move is to start putting the dots on the different sides of the dice. So I'm going to click on our top surface, come over here and click on Normal 2, so we're looking at 90 degrees to it. I click on the Sketch tab, Sketch command, And I'm going to select this time, I'm going to select circle. Okay, so I'm going to come down to the origin, hover over till that orange dot appears, click once and let go, move my mouse away and click again. And I'll press escape a few times on my keyboard. So I'm going to add a measurement to that. So as you can see, this is blue. I could drag it in and out, it's underdefined. So I'm going to add a measurement to that. Click Smart Dimension, click on the outside of the circle and drag off to the left. Okay, so I'm going to change that to 4 millimeters and hit OK. And press escape a few times. Okay. Next I want to make an indent into my rectangle or into my cube just inside that circle. So if I'm going to come along and do that, I'm going to click Features, Extrude a Cut. I'm going to rotate around so that I have a good view in at it. So if I leave it at 20, that is huge. That's going to make a huge hole through my shape. So I'm going to change that measurement to 0.5. Yeah, and that looks a lot better. I click the green tick. Okay, and there we have our first marking indented onto our object. So our next move, I'm going to click on the right hand side face. I'm going to click Normal 2, Sketch tab, Sketch Command. And what I will do for this one is I'm going to come along and beside line, I'm going to click on the arrow and I'm going to click center line. And I'm going to come along up here and select the top right corner, click once, come down to the bottom left until that dot appears and click again. So you see what I mean about having to press escape after every command. This wants me to draw another line straight away. I don't want to do that, so if I press escape, that goes away. Okay, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, a center line from the far side down to here. So that the center line is useful for, I suppose you'd call it a construction line. Okay, they won't affect our drawing. They won't appear in our model at the very end. They're just used to guide us to draw in other things. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that center line to draw in a circle where they meet. So where they cross over, a dot will appear. So we click once, move out, click again, press escape. We're going to smart dimension that and we're going to set it to 4 millimeters. Okay, we're going to do something similar. We're going to click circle again, except we're going to come up to somewhere along the line up here so it'll turn orange for us when we're hovering over it. So click on that line again, pull out another circle, and what we'll do is we're going to hold down Control, click on the edge of this circle, click on the edge of that circle, and we're going to make them equal. And click the green tick. We have one more measurement to add here, so we're going to click on Smart Dimension. We're going to click on the very center of that circle and click on the edge up here. And now this takes a bit of getting used to, so we don't want the Smart Dimension coming out like that. We want our Smart Dimension, if we pull the mouse down a bit, to come out like this so that it's perpendicular to our center line, and we're going to change that to 7 millimeters. Okay, that works out lovely. Again, we could just draw another circle down here and do the exact same steps again, but just to show you another trick that saves us time, we can go and use what's called mirror entities. Okay, so we'll select entities to mirror. We will select this circle. For mirror about, I have to click on that box too. So mirror about, we're going to click this center line. And what that does is it throws another circle down here for us, and it saves us having to draw anything, which is very handy. So there's our 3 circles in. So we're going to come along and now go to Features, Extrude a Cut, and we'll just move around to make sure that everything is looking okay. And it's already 0.5 from the last time, which is perfect. Click the green tick, and there's our 3 dots cut out. Okay, so I'm going to press the space bar, isometric, and then I'm going to hit save before I go any further. Okay, so we're really going to be repeating more or less the same steps over and over. just with different number of dots on each face. But it's a good practice for us moving forward. So next we're going to move on to this front face. And we're going to select normal to. We'll select sketch. And we'll do the same thing again. We're going to click on our center line and we're going to put in that X shape we had earlier. So I'm going to select a circle. I'm going to draw one along here somewhere. And I'm going to change the dimension of it to 4 mil. And again, I'm going to go smart dimension and I'm going to set from the center to that corner. I'm setting that to 7 mil. And that's our circle positioned. So instead of drawing another one, I'm going to use mirror entities again. Entities to mirror would be that circle. We're going to mirror it about this center line and hit the green tick. And now we have our two circles. So we can go up here to our tabs, features, extrude a cut, use the wheel on my mouse to look around, check that everything's okay. It is, that's 0.5. Click our green tick again. Okay. So now we're going to hover around and we're going to go underneath, click, normal to, sketch, and sketch. And I'll just click on the blank part of the screen to stop the blue from showing through. So we're going to do the same steps again. Center line, create the X shape from top left, bottom right, press escape, and same again this way. There. And we'll come along with our circle again. And I'm going to draw it in here. Smart dimension it to 4 mil. And I'll smart dimension from the center to that edge here. And I'll make that 7 mil. Okay, and again, instead of drawing another one, I will mirror entities. So entities to mirror will be our circle. We'll mirror it about this line. There we go. To save me drawing another few again, I'm just going to add in another center line. So this center line is going to start on this dot here, pass through the center to the dot on the far side. Okay. And what I can do now is I can mirror this circle and I can mirror it about this center line. And then I can mirror this circle, mirror it about this center line, green tick. And there are my 4 circles in place. So I go up to tabs, features, extrude a cut, rotate my object around, that's looking good, that's 0.5 as well, green tick. Okay, so we're making progress now. So I'm going to save that, space bar, and isometric view. Okay, so find a face that is free. So I'm going to go with the back face, look straight in at it, sketch and sketch. So we're going to draw the 5 dots on this face. So I'm going to put in my center lines again. Press escape. And another center line along here. And I'm going to put one center line going across the middle here. Okay, so this is going to start off exactly like when I did the 3 dots. So we'll start with our circle in the center and change it to 4 mil. And circle again, change it to 4 mil. And don't forget to be pressing escape after almost every command you do. So smart dimension, select the center of the circle, select the top edge here, drag it out and change that to 7. So now we're going to go up here to mirror entities. Entities to mirror is going to be this circle. We're going to mirror about, so I'm clicking on that box. We're mirroring about this center line. Hit the green tick. Okay, and to save us having to draw any more, we're going to go to mirror entities again. Entities to mirror this circle. We're going to mirror about here and green tick. So mirror entities, entities to mirror will be this circle. We'll mirror it about this center line and green tick. So that was actually a very quick way of drawing in our 5 dots. So now we go up to tabs, features, extrude a cut, use the wheel of the mouse just to check it out. Everyone is looking okay. It's at 0.5, so click the green tick. Okay, so we're getting there now, which is one face left, and on that face we'll click it, normal to, sketch, and sketch, and we're going to put the 6 dots on that face. So in order to do that, it's going to be a little bit different to the others. We're going to click on the center line, and we're going to have one center line starting at the origin and going straight up to the top. We're going to have another center line. We're just going to put it anywhere here for the time being and have it going vertical to the bottom, and we'll put a smart dimension on that. So from this edge to this edge, we're going to make it 5 mil. Instead of drawing another one at the other side, I'm just going to mirror it. So mirror entities, entities to mirror will be this line, and we will mirror it about this line. And we've one center line to put in. Select this one, and we will have a dot appear here. Click on that dot, that's the halfway mark, and put a center line across to the far dot and escape. So we are ready to start drawing our circles in. So select circle, I'm going to draw it roughly in place here, change it to 4 mil, and I'm also going to put a dimension of from the center to this top line up here. I'm going to put a dimension of 4 mil as well. Okay. I will also draw a circle where this center line meets that one and make that 4 mil again. Okay, so instead of drawing all these again, what I can do is mirror entities. So I can mirror, entities to mirror will be this one, mirror about, there we go. So there's our 3 circles on one side, we now need to get 3 on this side. So if we go mirror entities and try and select all 3, so I have all 3 circles selected it, we're going to mirror it about this center line, and all 3 will appear on the far side. Okay, so that'll save us having to draw all those again. So now we can go to features, extrude a cut, use the wheel of the mouse to check it all out. It's at 0.5, so we can hit the green tick, and there we go. There are all our dots cut out. So before I go any further, I'm going to go up to the top and hit save. Okay, so our next move is any mouse that you would have used would have had, or any dice that you would have used would have had rounded edges, so there wouldn't be sharp edges on it, okay? So what we're going to use to round our edges, it's called fillet. So here it is here. So we're going to click on fillet, and we are going to change the measurement from 10 mil to 1 mil, okay? And then items to fillet, we're going to click every edge of the object. So we'll come along every edge. So be careful. What I have done here by accident is I just clicked the whole face, and that's going to fillet everything on me. I don't want that, and you can actually see it over here where I click face. So if I right click on face, I want to delete just the face, and I go back and try and click edges again. So yeah, there we go, that looks better. Okay, when you've everything clicked then, hit your green tick, and there we go. That is our object filtered. So again, hit the save button, space bar, and look straight in it. So we're almost there now. All we have to do now is set material on it, okay? So to set the material on this, I'm going to right click over here on where it says material. So right click and edit material. I want to close up the steel option, and I'm going to make it out of wood. I'm going to make it out of beech. So I'm going to go down to woods, click on beech, and apply. And then close. So there we go. There is beech applied. You can see it over here written that's made from beech. So I'm going to hit save again. Just to add a bit of design to it, what I'm going to do is I am going to add a different color to each of the dots that are cut out. So in order to do that, if I hover over the middle of one of the cutouts and right click on it, we will get an option here that says appearances. Okay, so if we come down to where it says cut extrude 1, click on it, we get this option over to the right. So we want to click on the arrow beside appearances, make sure it's the arrow. We want to click the arrow beside plastic, and then we want to hit high gloss, and the color is up to you. So we can scroll down. I'm going to select green. Okay, now to get green to go on it, we have to click and hold down on our mouse. So click, hold down, and drag out to extrude a cut 1 and drop it in. Okay, and then hit your green tick again. So we will do that then for all our different cuts. So if I right click on this one, click on appearances, click on cut extrude 2. I'm going to high gloss again, I'm going to go down to the green, drag it in and drop it. Hit your green tick. Okay, so that's repeat that for all faces. So appearances, cut extrude, high gloss, drag and drop. Hit your green tick. So it's repetitive, but it's good practice for us moving forward. So high gloss, drag and drop the green in, and green tick. High gloss, drag and drop. Okay, so I think I've gotten every face. So that makes a huge difference to the object, makes it look a lot nicer. Okay, And what you notice is a nice touch that you can see the grain on the timber. It looks a little bit more lifelike as well. So save that up. Something else that we can mess around with is if we go up here to view settings, so we can turn on shadows, we can turn on ambient occlusion, we can turn on perspective, and we can turn on cartoon. Okay, and you can see the differences that they might make. So now it's supposed to look like it's out of a cartoon. If I knock that off, you have a bit of perspective on the drawing. So you can see a huge difference when I knock that off again. Okay. So you can mess around with those things. If you would like, you can also mess around with things like the fillet. So you can click on fillet and you might decide to come along and put a fillet on all of these edges and just put a smaller fillet. So you might go 0.2 and click OK. Okay, so that's entirely up to you. If you want to add your own touch to this, that is perfect. Okay, so take the next few minutes to play around with your model and see can you figure out how to add or put your own stamp on it in some way. And don't forget to save it all at the very end.